Oi oi girls and boys and everything in between, it's Ace Trainer Liam, and today I want to talk about crossovers. For those not sure what a crossover is basically when two or more franchises or two or more genres come together to form one massive franchise or genre, like some supergroup. So perfect examples of this would be like Marvel's Infinity War, where you have all these different Marvel characters coming together, crossing over their storylines to make one big super storyline. Other examples are things like Marvel vs. Capcom, if anyone's ever played any of those games, or even things like Super Smash Bros, where you have loads of different Nintendo franchises all coming together to form the awesome franchise that is Super Smash Bros. So what I want to take a look at today is Pokemon as a franchise and what kind of franchises it could get involved in, what it could cross over with to make something that would be truly awesome in the world of gaming. Obviously, all of this is going to basically be what ifs, and these are things that are probably very unlikely to happen, but I also want to hear your suggestions once you've watched the video to see if you think there are any other franchises Pokemon could cross over with that you think would make awesome games. So of course, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button and of course subscribe so you don't miss any more videos from me. But without further ado, let's look at 5 games Pokemon could cross over with that would be freaking awesome. Number 5, Mario Kart. Now, some of you are gonna think I've been snorting Torkoal fumes. Some of you are gonna think, Liam, what's happened to you, mate? You used to be really cool, and now you're thinking about Pokemon driving cars, but bear with me. So, of course, Mario in general as a franchise is no stranger to crossing over with other game franchises. We've seen things like Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. We've seen, as we said before, Super Smash Bros, which is very heavily revolving around Mario. And in Mario Kart itself, we've even seen Link from The Legend of Zelda even make an appearance as a playable driver. So the easy question is there, why not include some Pokemon? We've seen Pokemon make appearances in things like Super Smash Bros. As both playable characters and as kind of power-up items, so why not give a couple of Pokemon the Mario Kart treatment? Maybe a big Charizard that kind of has the same kind of stats as Bowser but has his awesome wings as well, which he can kind of use maybe instead of the glider that you have on the back. Or maybe even a super streamlined, speedy competitor like Greninja having his own place in Mario Kart. It would be really, really cool. I mean, honestly, this is me basically projecting that I really want a Pokemon racing game. I don't know if I'm the only person that wants a Pokemon racing game, but I quite enjoy playing Mario Kart. I'm a massive fan of Crash Team Racing and Crash Nitro Kart, and I mean, come on, they even gave WWF a car game. Why not Pokemon? Number 4, Digimon World. Now this is going to boil a lot of people's blood because there's a lot of people who are very, team Pokemon. There are a lot of people who are very team Digimon, and there are a hell of a lot of people from both those groups and people in the middle that are like Digimon, Pokemon, never the twins shall meet. But honestly, if you've ever played the Digimon World games, you know just how fun and addictive these games can be. They have a really cool system and a really cool strategy-based play behind them where you really have to make the most of your character because you can have quite a limited time with them depending how you treat them. And I really feel like adding Pokemon into the mix would make it so interesting. I'd like to see the interactions between the Digimon characters and the Pokemon characters. I'd like to see how they would incorporate Pokemon into the Digimon universe, how it would be like you'd have rookie forms of the Pokemon, like one of your rookie forms would Digivolve into Pichu, and then Digivolve into Pikachu, then Digivolve into Raichu, and then Digivolve into Gorochu, maybe? It would be it'd just be so cool. It'd be a blast from the past because you'd be seeing the two great monster franchises from that time combining together into one massive, awesome, strategic piece of amazing masterpiece gaming. I'm a person who very much loves Pokemon, obviously, and I'm also a person who very, very much has a special place for Digimon in my heart, so to see both of those franchises come together to make something incredible would just make 11-year-old me the happiest little boy in the world. Number 3, Tekken. Now, I know what a lot of you are gonna say.
Liam, we already got Pokken Tournament, that's a Tekken crossover.
No. No, it ain't, and let me tell you why. Okay, granted, Pokken Tournament was made in conjunction with the people who, well, the producer of Tekken and the team behind Tekken. So it certainly takes a lot of influence from Tekken, it certainly has a lot of similarities to Tekken, but it very much is not Tekken. And the crossover that I'm talking about is very much like I mentioned earlier in the video, Marvel vs. Capcom, where you have Marvel characters fighting notable Capcom characters, so why not have a game where your roster of Tekken characters are facing off against the Pokken Tournament roster of Pokemon? Just imagine it though, Nina versus Gardevoir, Yoshimitsu versus Empoleon. You've got awesome combinations for fights that would just be absolutely breathtaking. And of course, because some of the team that made Pokken are obviously people who worked on Tekken, the games would just mesh so well together that I could definitely see, I mean, on this list, I think it's the most likely crossover that could ever happen, if any of these happen. Just the idea that Tekken and Pokken come together to make, I don't know what they'd call it. Would they call it Poke Tekken? Would they call it Pokken Tekken Tournament version 9? I don't know. But all I know is it would just be a fantastic game to play. I don't think it would ever happen because, of course, Tekken's a little bit more adult, whereas Pokken is very much a child's game that adults can also get into. I don't know if it would work, but I think it would be absolutely great. I think it would be a breathtaking collaboration. Number 2, World of Warcraft. To be brutally honest, this one doesn't even need to be World of Warcraft. It just needs to be what a lot of Pokemon fans have been clamoring for, which is not something that we're going to get in any main series game anytime soon. And that is an open world MMORPG of Pokemon. A solution to that problem is try and slot Pokemon in the World of Warcraft world, or in any of these MMORPGs. Just put Pokemon in there. Obviously, you'd have to give them more range of powers and abilities. They wouldn't be able to be restricted to 4 moves like in the past, but same with Pokken. The Pokemon have a lot more moves in their arsenal in Pokken, and in World of Warcraft, they'd have spells and they'd have certain things. I guess you'd have to put typing into perspective, so they'd have certain spells they can't use if they're not of a certain type, I guess. But then we have a lot of water types that can use ice type moves. We have a lot of grass types that can use bug type moves, things like that. So I guess that's not too important, but it'd be nice to be able to jump into an open world MMORPG full of all these fantasy characters and goblins and orcs and all that jazzy stuff, but also have the option of playing as a Pokemon, or playing as a selection of Pokemon, or even just playing as a Pokemon trainer, as a class, you know, rather than having, you know, kind of a giant mythical creature with you. You could throw a Pokeball and have a Pokemon traveling with you as one of the options. It could be some kind of expansion that you don't have to take part in if you don't want to. It could just be something for if you're playing World of Warcraft and it's an expansion for you. If you're a Pokemon fan, you can buy it and put Pokemon into the game, but it doesn't affect other players. I don't really know. I didn't really think it through when I thought of World of Warcraft, but I just thought, you know what? It just seems like a cool idea. They're two great worlds that would be really cool to combine. Obviously, some of the smarter people out there would be able to go, this is why it will definitely work, or this is why it definitely wouldn't work, or rather than being too big in your boots about whether it will or will not work, you just be, well, these are compromises that both franchises could make to really make this actually something that was viable. They're the kind of people I want to hear from. You guys are awesome. But really, I think this just comes from us all clamoring for that really, really big open world adventure where we can go anywhere with our Pokemon, we can travel to any place, we can take on all different kinds of quests, and we don't have to just do 8 gyms or 18 trials or however many trials there were, and we're not so restricted. I feel like being restricted is the only reason that we tend to go, oh, I wish we had a really open world Pokemon game. If we were to get an open world Pokemon game, I think doing a crossover with another like MMORPG would just be absolutely amazing. Number 1, Fortnite. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Fortnite. I'm more of a PUBG guy, sorry, just, it's one of those things. I really wish I was, because I'd make a lot more money if I played Fortnite all the time. Look at those guys, they're killing it. But regardless, I think one thing that would make me more interested in Fortnite would be Pokemon integration. Some kind of collaboration between Epic Games and the Pokemon Company to bring Pokemon into the Fortnite Battle Royale. Look at one thing that's happened in Fortnite this year that none of you would have ever predicted. That is there being a game mode dedicated to Thanos from the Marvel franchise, from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thanos and his Infinity Gauntlet in Fortnite, where you can find the Infinity Gauntlet, you can put it on, you become Thanos, and then you can use it until someone kills you, until you win, basically. Just think, if you could incorporate Pokemon in a kind of similar game mode like that, so basically everybody lands, there's maybe a Pokeball with a legendary Pokemon in it or something, somewhere on the map, or just a really powerful Pokemon, I don't know, let's throw in an Incineroar, or a Decidueye, or a Charizard or something. Just somewhere on the map there's a Pokeball, or maybe 5 Pokeballs or something. Oh, that'd actually be really cool. If there were 5 Pokeballs, and basically whoever found them first got to pick up the Pokeball, open it, and have the Pokemon either walk with them or they become the Pokemon, because I guess you kind of have to make it easy to control in Fortnite. But wouldn't that be cool? Either walking around with a Pokemon or walking around changed into a Pokemon, and then you come across one of the other 4 people that have found Pokeballs themselves, and it'd be completely random as well. So suddenly you're walking along and you're a Zekrom for some reason because you found one of the balls, and you come across someone that is a Kyurem or something, depending, maybe they'll be themed, I don't know. It actually really excites me. Like, that would get me playing Fortnite in a heartbeat. It would be absolutely amazing. I'm definitely very serious about wanting Pokemon and Epic Games to come to some kind of agreement where they can have a Pokemon mode in Fortnite. That would be so cool. Still be a battle royale, still be a battle to the death. Maybe if you kill someone in Fortnite who has already become a Pokemon or has already caught a Pokemon, you know, basically got the ball that gives them the Pokemon power, then wouldn't it be cool if you defeat them, you get to take that Pokemon and become it? Or you could, I suppose if you've already got a Pokemon, they'd have to figure a way. Game designers are better at thinking about these things than I am. I just think, like, you guys are thinking about it right now, and you guys are thinking, wow, how would this work? This would be so cool. That's how I'm feeling right now. I do think if Fortnite could get some kind of I just want Fortnite and Pokemon to come to a deal. I just want them to come to a deal, create something amazing. Oh, it'd be so good. I'm shaking at the idea. It's never gonna happen. Don't get me wrong, it's never gonna happen, but it's also the most likely thing to happen out of anything I think I've put on this list. I know I said Tekken was the most likely crossover, but I think Fortnite, with the popularity it's got right now, like, just look at Twitch right now. There's like 100,000 people at any one time watching people play Fortnite. You look at Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon on Twitch, there's like 2,000 people watching max. If Pokemon could integrate into Fortnite, could cross over with Fortnite, there'd be hundreds of thousands more people watching Pokemon content, and that would be incredible for everybody. So Epic Games, if you're watching, and Pokemon Company, if you're watching, get in touch with each other. Give me a little bit of money for the idea, and let's make something absolutely incredible. And if you could put Ace Trainer Liam in a future Pokemon game, that's also a crossover I'd really like to see. So that's my list of the 5 games that I would like to see Pokemon crossover with. Let me know in the comments which games you'd like to see them crossover with. If you think I've missed any, or if you think any of my ideas are stupid or great, let me know. Also, hit like on the video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you all very soon, but until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.